That's quite a jolly little tune, isn't it?
Hi, everybody.
Hi.
I'm here at Coronado Springs. I'm Benji, and you're Luke. You're not as far away from Coronado Springs as you might think, but
yeah, I am like 7-8 miles away from Coronado Springs.
But we're here to talk about we'll talk about day 1 p.m. and day 2 a.m. of Destination D23. We chatted yesterday during the lunch break with Tony, but there was some more fun that occurred after that. We did get some news, mostly from the Disney Eats panel. It just kind of was a hop around, just sort of random, just news drops. Nothing game changing here, but we got another look at Napa Rose, the sort of redone alfresco dining. No look at the redone interior. They did talk about how there's 2 fireplaces, which the host Keith from the Try Guys kind of made fun of the fact that they could get away with having 2 fireplaces in California.
Very random host choice, by the way. Was not expecting to see Keith from the Try Guys.
Yeah, we also had the girl from what was the thing? The challenge, like she just does crazy challenges.
Okay, I'm not sure who that is.
But yeah, we've had some of that during this event too. So
this was previously released concept art for the updated interior, so nothing new here, but we at least it's a little glimpse at what the inside might look like in the future.
Now the food and beverage news did keep going. We got another look at one of the locations coming to the
Disney Destiny,
Caskin Canyon, Caskin Canyon, which has been sort of nautical themed on the other Wish Class ships. One was kind of themed to Maelstrom, the other was themed to 20K. This one's pirate themed.
Kind of nice how they're like keeping it somewhat within the same realm of theming, but like just kind of updating it for each ship.
And some of the smoking beverages, they kind of insert smoke into the pirate chest so that when you open it, it kind of gives off this smoky vibe.
Yeah, it looks pretty fun. Looks like some fun.
And then also speaking of the Disney Destiny, a look at the Sanctum, including so you see the cloak of levitation there. There's actually a levitating drink that when you touch it, it has like electric energy going through it. It's kind of cool.
So they showed like a levitating drink. Did you gather at all how that works?
Yeah, so it looks like there's like a magnet thing. Like it's not the drink itself isn't levitating. The base that the drink is sitting on is levitating.
Gotcha. Okay.
So we should have video of that soon on YouTube, but you can check that out. Going back to the stateside, we have some more novelties coming, including this 3-eyed alien sipper, this Christmas tree truck bucket, these zombie heads coming to Trader Sam, as well as remember where this last bit's coming from?
Yeah, that's one of the 2 new mugs for the Haunted Mansion parlor on the Disney Destiny.
Okay.
So this one, and then there's a second one, I believe, right after. They're both going to be available, I guess, exclusively on the Haunted Mansion parlor on the Disney Destiny. So that'll be something unique for that version of it.
This is kind of cool. A Scream canister bucket.
That's great.
The 3-eyed alien we talked about, and the Winnie the Pooh bucket here for Easter.
I was trying to decide what the difference was in the Trader Sam's one, and it looks like the stitching is a slightly different color. I guess that depends on what coast you get it on. But
I see. Yeah,
and the eyes and the mouth are different. I think that's the only difference.
That's interesting.
Yeah.
So we did that. At night, it was Cusco-topia. Night at Typhoon Lagoon. There's some.
How was that? Did you get in the water, Benji?
I did not get in the water.
Ah,
They did give us these pouches. So they're branded. I mean, they came from our friends at Disney Visa, but that you can put your phone in theoretically and not get it too wet.
that's cool. It
says
that's nice.
Cusco-topia on it. Yeah. But we were there to take pictures and chat.
Lots
So this one I thought was fun because it shows. Yeah, it shows you like the path from Destination D23 to Typhoon Lagoon through every which way.
At least you probably didn't have to go via Disney Springs to get there.
Captain Mario. There's a bingo thing. It wasn't a real prize. This was more for fun. Charm Station.
Was the bingo thing was it just one thing, or was it kind of like spread around the park?
Oh, it was spread out around the park, and there were different sheets. So like you could go with a family. Someone may get bingo faster than someone else because they weren't the same.
Gotcha. That's a fun idea.
Yeah, and this is what they build as a sand sculpture. It was not much.
A mini, tiny sand sculpture.
Yeah. So that was last night, and then now we're getting to day 2. Oh, I forgot. Sorry. Another thing that we learned about was this Wayfinders table. It was previously announced, but we got an opening date of September
12th.
12th. We also got some updates on the this is coming to Hong Kong Disneyland. This is Blood Bag drink, which I feel like
something I never thought I would see from Disney, because I have seen these sort of like IV type blood bags on sale at things like Halloween Horror Nights and Hallow Scream, but I've never seen something like this at Disney. But then again, they do go a little bit spookier for Halloween at Hong Kong than they tend to at the other resorts.
So speaking of which, we got the day started with Disney Villains, and they announced a new party coming to Hong Kong Disneyland, featuring tons of villains. It's called the Wickedest Party Calls at Hong Kong Disneyland. It starts September 19th through November 2nd, and kind of with the 20th overlay, 20th anniversary festivities. So that is that. We don't have a lot of details, but
yeah, it looks like it's just going to be I think it says a mix of a cavalcade and street party. So something a little bit different for Halloween this year at Hong Kong.
And I know we talked about the Destiny, but during the Villains panel, they also talked about this interactive Facilier experience, which seems kind of neat, where he'll actually do parlor for you.
Looks like he's going to be roaming around the upper levels of the Grand Hall, and there might even, the way they worded it was a little vague, but it sounds like he might have his own like room that he can take you into to play parlor tricks. So that sounds really cool. That sounds like a fun little undiscovered experience you could have.
And I know what people really were interested in was Villains Land. Now, they didn't give a lot of details, but they did say that the land will be inspired by Art Nouveau, and particularly where it seems like nature is taking over architecture, or architecture is taking over nature. So they went on a research trip to Barcelona and parts of France to kind of see that Gaudi style of architecture that is going to really be the architectural vibe of the land. And here you can see sort of a mash of the architecture they discovered on their research trip. And
so some of these examples are very, very good. Like you can easily see how they make the jump from that architecture to something inspired by Villains.
So the buzzword that they're using is conjured architecture. So we will see how that plays out. Once again, not a lot of details. Still too early. I understand that. Excuse me. I think maybe having a Disney villains panel might have set expectations a little too high, but we are expecting more information about this over the next year or two. And then they had performances and things like that, but that was really the news from this morning. Thus far, we just wrapped up a presentation called Down the Rabbit Hole, which featured the Central Florida Oversight Tourism District's department, the fire department's fife and drum band, playing music from Bedknobs and Broomsticks.
Say that whole sentence 3 times fast.
Yeah, so that was a lot, and but it was fun. And we do expect some news this morning. Nothing. I don't want to create anyone's expectation out of whack, but there should be some more news this afternoon. Yesterday, we also had a presentation on the 25th anniversary of Emperor's New Groove, and they revealed that they've remastered the movie. It kind of hurts that you have a way to remaster a 25-year-old movie, but and it'll be playing at the El Capitan in November.
Did we talk in yesterday's stream about the big reveal?
No, we didn't.
That's what I thought.
I completely. I went down my schedule here, and I was like, okay, because we kind of went out of order, but we're going to talk about this because this is cool.
Actually, I think there's a couple of things that happened after our stream too.
Yeah, there's two that we should really talk about. I'm going to start with the Carousel Progress. They are going to be updating the Carousel Progress and including a new opening scene, which will feature Walt Disney himself.
Which appears to be in the scene right now where it's like the voice of John explaining a little bit about the history of the show, which is a pretty quick scene. So I don't know how that's going to work. But...
yeah, I mean, there's some theories amongst our little press corps here of how they're going to make that work. But I look forward to it. I mean, obviously the Walt figure at Walt Disney World, Disneyland was a starting point, but being able to bring Walt in, and I think more importantly, just committing to having the Carousel of Progress spin for future generations is pretty cool.
Yeah,
it wasn't long ago that attraction was kind of earmarked for replacement, and by investing in it, you're extending its life. I mean, at some point, high def TV and Laserdisc was going to become unsustainable, so something was going to be happening, and I'm glad that they decided to invest in extending its life.
And it's been 30 years since it got a major update, so this will be really nice to see. It's something I know I've been hoping for a long time.
Yeah, and so I'll share with you the concept art here. And what's interesting is this is Walt. I mean, obviously not Photoshop, but this is Walt talking about Carousel Progress. And here's the concept art.
Hang on, I'm going to share it to the stage real quick.
This is the concept art of the scene that will be in charge. You can see it's a small scene just by the nature of where it's going. But Tower 4 Winds in the background, Mr. Lincoln, Tiki Room Bird, Lincoln bust, Epcot painting. It's just a fun little moment here. So I'm looking forward to this coming to life.
I think it will fit really well in that environment, and I think it could be a fun way to introduce the scenes. And then I'm also excited to see how they might update some of the other scenes in a hopefully more forward-thinking way.
Yeah, I think they committed to doing that as well. Is having not just they're not just adding a new scene, they're updating the whole attraction. So I'm looking forward to seeing how that plays out.
Yeah, that's
is this new Leslie new Leslie Iwerks documentary called Disneyland Handcrafted, which takes the footage that was filmed the year leading up to opening of Disneyland, ostensibly designed for the Disneyland TV show, but obviously much, much more than that. And this will be coming up in the upcoming winter on Disney Plus and YouTube. But this just gave me chills. I love this. I must have watched this thing.
Yeah, no, this looks very exciting. And everything Leslie Iwerks has done in the past for Disney, the Imagineering story, the Pixar story, the Iwerks documentary, they've all been great. So getting to see more from her, especially something as exciting as, the building of Disneyland, will be really fun. Interesting that it's coming to YouTube and Disney Plus.
And I asked about that, and it's obviously Disney Plus is a great place for us to live, but they really, because of its history and its significance, they really wanted it to be able to be accessible to the widest audience possible. And obviously, there's no cost to use YouTube, so they really wanted it out there. This isn't a marketing stunt. This is just trying to embrace Disneyland's history, and I'm glad that they were able to scrounge up the funding to get this done, because it's really cool.
Yeah, especially with the 70th going on right now, it's a great way to look back at the history.
But I mean, and not to give this a short change, but I guess I didn't really have a chance to ask you what's your take on the Carousel of Progress? Like, I mean, I'm not on the internet while I'm at these things, so like, how's it received?
Yeah, I haven't seen too much in the way of negativity, which is always a good thing. Personally, I when I first heard about it, I was a little confused as to how it might happen, but fully diving into the details of it, I think it makes sense. I mean, Walt's name is already in the attraction, so I think adding a little bit more Walt to it could be a good idea, and if it's done tastefully and also gives the animatronic enough time to shine, then I think it could be a worthwhile thing.
And I don't know this from anything, but I just think it'd be cool if, like, you just walk in and he's just there, like, welcoming you in, just to give him more time. Because it's a loading scene. It's not a full scene because you gotta have time for people to, like, get their seats and all that stuff.
Yeah, that could be a fun way to do it. Whether they go down that route, who knows? But
who knows, indeed. I do want to say we do expect. I don't make it seem like there's like a major new attraction coming. It's not, but we do expect some Disney Parks news later on this afternoon. So keep an eye on that. There's some more coming. We also got Disney Channel this afternoon, and then the 80s and 90s concert before we get to enjoy a wonderful Labor Day to recover from all of this.
Yeah, good timing. Good timing with Labor Day following this up. Gives us a chance to catch up.
And we get a chance to talk yesterday, but I know you're always working during these things because I make you work. But like, we got another D23 Expo, whatever you want to call it, a Ultimate Disney Fan Event. Someday they'll lose. That's not great brand editing. But what do you think?
Yeah, I mean, it's always an exciting event. It's always fun to see what's in store. And last year's was very big when it comes to announcements. Next year, who knows if it'll be the same way. But at the very least, I imagine we'll learn some, new details about a lot of the things that are in progress. So I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah, I would expect. I mean, I don't know, but we may get some new projects too. But also, we're still waiting for some details. And I think people need to understand that maybe if you're wondering why there's not more news at this thing today, keep in mind that they got the feedback that D23 expos are expected to have lots of news. Well, if you want to have lots of news, you got to have time. You need to save stuff for it. And I think, especially with these projects so early in development, that you'll get a lot more details. You'll get a lot more understanding what the attractions are going to be, and not to mention then maybe another some projects that are essentially 3 or 4 years down the line after these come on. So I would expect
I mean,
there's significant news, at least the next D23 event.
By the time the next event rolls around, I mean, we'll be about a year out from Tropical America's opening, so I'm sure they'll have a lot more to share from that. And a couple of the other things, we're already under construction on Monsters Inc., on Cars, so I'm sure there will be much news to share. Actually, I saw today that they're really far along on construction for the Shanghai Spider-Man coaster. So,
oh, really?
That's groundwork all torn up. Looks like they're ready to install track really soon. So,
what do we know about that? What do we know? What it's?
I don't think we know anything per se, other than what we can kind of glean from the concept art, and the way that the vehicles are drawn leads me to believe that it will be similar to Guardians, at least from a ride vehicle perspective, and probably manufactured by Vekoma like Guardians is. But other than that, don't really know.
And one of the things, I mean, this upcoming week, the Boneyard is going to close, which will really be another step forward.
I think tomorrow is the last day, actually.
Yeah. So, not that we love anything to close, but obviously, you can actually see. I don't know. Let me see if I can.
Benji's room is in the Boneyard.
You can not the Boneyard, but you can see. You can see outside my window. You can see Hollywood Studios. You see the black spires. You can see construction equipment down, a big, tall, black, piece of construction equipment at the Monster site.
Oh, fun. Okay, that makes sense.
So, work is happening. And, it's kind of nice to see, I think, they made the D23 announcements last year, and then it was, nothing happened for a bit, and because time, you got to close things and things. Yeah. But now that things are finally closing, and obviously I still miss Muppet Vision and some of the other things that are gone, but that's a step that has to happen in the process. So now that those are gone, we can start to develop some excitement for the future. Yeah,
it's definitely exciting seeing it all slowly but surely starting to come together.
So to wrap up, I mean, out of what you've heard tonight, or from Destination D23 as a whole, whether it's news or just sort of interesting things you picked up through our social live blog and all that, what's been your highlight so far?
I mean, as far highlights for me, and the most that I've seen has been newsworthy related things, and I think the two things that have me the most excited out of all of the announcements are the Walt animatronic and but more specifically a redo of the Carousel of Progress, and then I'm also pretty interested in the Tron overlay. I feel like it won't be much, but I'm excited to see how they kind of incorporate that in. One thing that I am a little hesitant about with that is that the Daft Punk score for Tron Legacy and for Tron Cycle Run is so good that I don't know how the Nine Inch Nails music is going to hold up to that, but hopefully it does.
I mean, if you want to combine Destination D23 with what was announced recently, the fact that they're redoing Carousel of Progress, doing the animation courtyard work, even the Buzz Lightyear redo, just investing in
three things in Tomorrowland.
The park experience better without it being, a big $10 billion project, stuff that could not meant to drive revenue, just enhancements. I think it sends a good message. I don't think many people are going to book a Walt Disney World vacation because they've updated Carousel of Progress, but people have a better time because they've updated Carousel of Progress. And absolutely, it says a lot about the park that they have that understanding and are taking areas of the park that just need some TLC and investing in them. And so I'm really happy to hear that. That's my big takeaway from not so much just the last day or two, but the last 3 to 6 months.
Yeah, no, the future for the parks at the moment is looking pretty bright, and I'm excited to see what comes. Big and small.
I can't end it any better than that. So thanks so much for joining us. As I said, keep an eye out. We still got another couple hours of this event. And then we will all regroup and figure out what we're going to share with you next. But I appreciate everyone joining. And thanks, Luke, for jumping on.
Yeah, of course.
And we'll see you all. I should check the comments. Hello, John. Hi, Fred. Nikki B, yes, you should be excited for that documentary. It does look like it wants to rain, Fred. It has already rained. So
yeah, it's been a bit of a dreary day outside today.
But we are we got a lot more to do. We got to head back down to the convention center. So thank you much for joining us, and we'll see you soon.
Take care, everyone.